Hi, my name is Brant Wadsworth, and I would like to welcome you to part one of our on-demand 2020 Construction Cloud video training series. In this very first training video, we're going to focus on a general overview of the 2020 Construction Cloud, the navigation, and really try to focus in on the usability so that as you're going through the following videos, you'll have a good understanding of how to get around and how to filter and to group and view the data in a way that's going to be most effective for you. So let's get in and take a look at what we got here. Okay, when you first log into the 2020 Construction Cloud, you're brought to this messaging screen right here. 2020 is really built on a messaging platform, and what that really means is from here you can send and receive emails, you can communicate through instant message and group messaging with individuals inside of the company, group discussions, integrated calendaring, sharing calendars, the whole CRM thing. Anyway, we control and we can see all of that from this main screen. You can see that, this is my inbox. It says congratulations, my inbox is empty. We'll just kind of look at the navigation here from this point of view. If we start up in the top corner on the 2020 logo, if you click on this, you'll be able to see links to the more common functionality inside of the system. So we're looking at the messaging screen right now. The calendar, this would be our personal and any shared calendars inside of the system. So clicking on this right here, I'd be able to drag and drop and create a meeting however I needed to. I would see over on the right hand side, a month view of that calendar and any shared calendars or job calendars that I needed to look at. So again, we access this main functionality by clicking on the 2020 logo on the top. But you can see that 2020 it's not just an accounting system. It's not just a project management system like some of the other solutions that are on the market. 2020 is a complete ERP solution. That means from the point of prospecting and sales and tracking those activities, those customers, those relationship management, to the point of generating an estimate and a proposal and converting that proposal into a contract and then later starting that project. In the project management phase, we are keeping track of all of the important documents, such as RFIs, submittals, transmittals, specifications, and drawings. All of those important things, each with revision control, so maintaining which is the most current revision, but still keeping track of all of the changes that have been made along the way. We want to keep that story and tell a story about this project and how it has transpired from the beginning to the end. From an accounting perspective, we're also keeping track of the subcontracts, the commitments, subcontracts and purchase orders, and all of the invoices that we've received against those. And then from this information, we can pay our invoices to our vendors and subcontractors, obviously, and send payment or applications for payment to our customer to receive money on our projects. It is a full accounting system, has the ability to organize your chart of accounts in any structure that you need with a parent-child type hierarchy if required, as many numbers to differentiate the different companies, departments, divisions, whatever. Also has multi-company capabilities, so we can keep track of multiple companies and the transactions that are transpiring from one company to another. So very useful for a lot of construction companies that might have a general contracting company and maybe a concrete or a framing company or maybe a property management or development company. All of these things can be tracked and managed right inside of the 2020 Construction Cloud. So without kind of going into that in too much detail, we'll just look at the headings here. So again, we're tracking the sales, proposals, contracts, the CRM aspect of the system. Here's all the project management features, the subcontracts and the commitments, change orders, and important documents, drawings, RFIs, submittals, that sort of thing. Our accounting and finance, obviously, we're going to manage our general ledger, our journals, our sub-ledgers, entering in our invoices, tracking our accounts payable and our accounts receivable, and our financial statements and reports are all going to be found here in the accounting and finance section. In the HR and the employees is where we can track our employees. We do have the ability to submit job postings onto a website, to track the responses that are coming in for those job postings, and to organize them through a process of recruiting, interviewing them and keeping track of important information that or onboarding type information. So we have a full human resource application that's tied in with our employees. And then we have some settings, and there's a bunch of other things that we've actually hidden that are behind the scenes here that we'll talk about in a later version. So that is kind of the overview of the 2020 Construction Cloud. Again, the takeaway is that it's a complete solution. It's not just accounting. It's not just project management. It is designed to be the whole entire operating system for a construction company. One unique aspect of 2020 Construction Cloud is that it's what we call fully responsive. And what that really means is that no matter what device you're accessing this from, because it is a web-based device and it is fully responsive, that means that it can be accessed from a tablet or a PC or a smartphone or whatever device you have that can access it over the internet. So let's take a look at that right now. Let's jump back to our messaging screen here. And I'm going to just pull up my iPad. Great, so this is my actual iPad. If I had my video on, you could still see me maneuvering around. From here, I could go in and I could look at a particular project. Right here on my laptop, you can see how the screen size has adapted to fit what it looks like on my tablet versus what it looks like on the computer. So from here, I could go through and I could create a RFI. Just by clicking on the RFI, I can see a listing of my RFI logs or my RFIs for this particular project. Here's the details of a particular RFI. So you can see that very usable, very easy to utilize on a tablet or any other smartphone device. We've covered briefly the navigation here, but once we click on one of these items, let's click on project management, for example, you can see that at the top now we have a sub menu system. So in the business development, I can click here and I can see some CRM features. We could access those by clicking on the sales functionality as well. But we've chosen to add a lot of these cross-departmental features onto the different applications, so to speak, so that we can limit the amount of clicks and make it just as easy and functional for people to access information. So now we want to talk about, there's two main kind of views inside of the 2020 Construction Cloud, and we're looking at one of them right now. This is called a list view. If we were to click on a particular, this is a project here, so if we were to click on the project, it would take us to the form view. So here's where we're going to be entering all the details, and in a list views, we're going to be able to see all the records that we've entered. And we only have one in this particular table. So I'm going to go and open something that I know has lots of records here, and I'm going to go to the item master. Now it's not super important what the item master is at this point, but just quickly, this is where we're going to keep track of all of the different products or items that we would put onto an estimate or a proposal. So you can see that again, it's in a list view, and just looking at some of the highlights here, we have the name of the records that we're looking at. We have a search screen or a search bar here. So if I wanted to go and I wanted to find everything that had the word concrete in it, as I type in the word concrete, I can search for products that have concrete, categories of concrete. Some things may have attributes or price lists or locations or whatever. I can specify these. I just want to search for products that have the word concrete in it. Okay, so now I can see that I have 35 different items that have the word concrete in it. I could then do an additional search. I want to search for things that have joints in it, concrete or joints. So now it says my search product where it has concrete or joint. And it gave me a couple others, 39 of them. So utilizing this search feature, we can either filter down or find exactly what we're looking for. Because to look at this list without filter criteria, we can see that this particular list has 917 items in it. and we don't want to have to scroll down and try to find what we're looking for. So a quick search gets us right to where we're looking for. Now another thing that we can do with these list views is with these options down here below. First of all, we have the filters. So on each one of these records, solicitation for example, we have lots of fields. And we can filter out the records here, back in our list view, we can filter out by some of those fields. So I want to see only our services or only our products or only those can be sold or purchased. And we can create as many of these as we need. And these are just the ones that we have right out of the box. Our group by features will take all of these 917 items and group them by those fields. So we have 2 included. We want to group them by the standard CSI divisions in this particular database. So I'm going to select group by division. Now it's taken all of those items and it's grouped them by the standard CSI divisions. I could further group those by subdivision. And now if I look into, let's look at concrete for example. I have concrete, there's my forms, edge, foundation, wall, column, beam forms. And if I click into these items, I would see a particular item in my item master. So using the filters and the group by really allow us to find those things that are important to us. We can obviously open them up, and if you have the right access, you could edit them and make changes to them. So that's really all we want to cover today. The list view that we're looking at here, very important. We're going to use this throughout all of the training. Form views, also very, very important. We click on it, you can hit edit and make any changes that you need to if you have the right security access and privileges. Other navigation is the sub menus across the top, and then the master menu, which shows our main features. In another video, we'll talk about all the details of each one of these and really help you get an understanding of the importance and how everything works and how easy it is. Hope this has been useful. We'll see you in the next meeting.